Chat. All right, I got something very interesting for you. Ready? So, this past weekend was the first weekend of Overwatch League. I watched a little bit. It actually wasn't that bad. I actually kind of... The, like, hour I watched was actually kind of enjoyable. But this right here is the opening weekend usage of all heroes. Number one was Winston by far. No surprise there. Dive was really, really strong. Kind of predicted that. Kind of talked about it. Sigma, you know, Diva, the whole way down the list. Basically, in ranked, a lot of times, like, people, if you go Winston, people will go Diva because, like, the whole counters thing. But in Pro League, you know, in Pro play and high level play, it's a little bit different because if you remember when I played in the tournament, even though I was, like, really sick when I played in the tournament, Lep was talking about how the reason we were going to play Winston in a lot of these comps was I jumped in and basically bubbled people, and that would let our Tracer run in and basically be able to do a bunch of damage by using the bubble as support. So Winston's a staple. No surprise there. Tracer, Sombra, very, very good. I think I had talked about that a long time ago, how Tracer was really good and Sombra was on the rise. No surprise there. I want you to take a look really fast. You see Genji is number 4. We're going to talk about that in a sec. But the number 1 support is Ana. But I want you to point to what is number 2. Does anyone see what number 2 is? Oh, that character I got gaslit by the entire Overwatch community and told that it was terrible and it was a giant nerf and that the character was bad and I was overreacting and I was just farming hate content or farming rage baits and... Oh. No? It's pretty good? Oh, okay. Now, you might say, well, Flatsbud, what about Ana as the number 1? You know Brig is enabling Ana in a lot of these comps, right? The reason why you play Ana with Brig is Brig shores up a lot of Ana's weaknesses. Not having mobility, not being that strong, you know, on being able to fight overwhelming dive. Brig can take over that. Actually, I wish I was a little bit more prepared. I could go find some clips, but apparently Toronto Defiant, and I know this because I've been told by a few sources, is basically their strat was like they were nanoing the Brig. Their whole idea was there was 2 things. 1, new Brig ult is basically Transcendence. It's a bait for dive. That's the whole point of it. Now, basically when you commit on the dive and go for the backline and go for Ana, go for Brig, you pop Rally and you don't die. You have their stun, you have your 700 HP shield, and you've now baited them into coming into a bad losing fight. In a lot of ways, would turn and win the fight off of Rally. The thing that I talked about with what Brig was weak at was her neutral game was really good, and Rally would be good at initiating fights, but the new Rally was going to make it so that it shored up her weakness of getting overwhelmed. That was what I always said. Well, I mean, it was just like, dumb streamer, you're just trying to farm rage engagement. You're just trying to farm, you know, it's the only way you get clicks. It's like, dude, hello? I've been here for like 5 years doing this. I have a pretty strong set of values and stick by them at all times and always have. I've always stood by them, thick or thin. Why would this all of a sudden be a different circumstance? I don't really understand the logic. I'm not asking for any apologies because I know that will never happen, but maybe there'll at least be one thread after the tens of hate threads, thousands of comments, hundreds of messages like, oh, you're a fucking idiot, you know what you're doing, you just hate support, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, here we are now looking at, in Overwatch League, the highest level, Brig's really good now. And then you're talking about, well, what about all the other ranks? Well, we don't know yet because Brig has had a bug for the last 2 weeks since the new season came out, the start of season 4 when this all started. Rally is bugged. The 100 armor you get when you pop Rally isn't real. It's 100 health that's yellow. It's bugged. It's not armor. It's not counted as armor. So instead of being able to have the tankiness that armor brings, remember armor gives you 30% damage reduction on incoming damage, you just have health. So that's why it probably doesn't feel that good in your hands when you pop Rally. You don't feel that tanky. But it is extremely tanky. And on top of that too, it's about the ability to flip fights and be almost a Transcendence. It's no longer a proactive, it's a reactive on a character that's whole design is all ready to basically stand there, not die, keep Inspire up, and heal everybody over time. And just also pocket your Ana and make sure that she's unkillable. Now, you also look back at this Genji. The reason why you see Genji here is from what I've heard, is the reason why they're picking Genji is Genji Brig are actually playing together, and Brigitte packs the Genji going in, or they play with each other on the flank to the point where they are almost a dive comp together. Think about that. Brig is so strong that it brought Genji back. If that doesn't say a lot, I don't know what will. Anyways, point is, I don't really care that much. I just thought it was really ridiculous when I saw something that I thought was going to be super, super strong, and now it's ended up being super, super strong. But people weaponized a few people in the community that were high-level Brig players, and I actually know a couple of them.
Hello.
I actually know some of the Brig players that they were using and weaponizing, and I actually like them. I've actually hosted some of them before. But it's really, really sad that basically people wanted to find something that they could rally behind and use as a weapon, and they used some of these creators or players that were high-level Brig players as a weapon to be like, see, these people disagree, that's why you're stupid. It's like, dude, people can have differences of opinion, nothing's wrong with that. And I decided to take a wait and see approach. So did Sam, and so did a few other people who said, all right, we'll just wait and see what happens. And it's still bugged, by the way. It's not fixed yet. It might be fixed on the Overwatch League client. I heard that it's fixed on the Overwatch League client, because theirs is a little bit different than the live client. So that could be a factor that's being played into why Brig is so good over here. But the point is, though, you know, I hope at least some people end up seeing this and saying, you know what, hey, maybe the tens or hundreds of thousands of hate comments and threads of, you know, they don't know anything. Maybe we're a little unwarranted and a little unjustified. And, you know, next time when it happens, maybe you'll think about it for a second. That probably won't happen, but that's at least the hope out of all of this. Is I'm not going to say I told you so, because it isn't even as strong as I thought it was going to be. It's actually a little bit weaker than I thought it was going to be. However, though, it is definitely stronger than what most people thought it was. Okay, let me preface the part that I thought was weaker. The part that I think is weaker than I thought was the stun duration. The stun duration for Brig's Bash is not what it used to be. We didn't know that. I didn't know that from the patch notes or from for what I saw. I'll admit that definitely was wrong on the stun duration, because from what it had appeared is it should be of old Brig. 50 damage on the bash, stun, and so you basically should be able to stun, left click on Brig, and then whip shot and one shot a tracer. The stun is now shorter, so you actually can't do the one shot combo. That's where I was wrong, and I can say, oh, it wasn't actually as strong as I thought it was going to be. However, though, it is still way stronger than people were alluding onto, and the whole point of this is not to be an I told you so. It's not to say I was right. Maybe I wasn't even right. Maybe it was just a net neutral, not buff, not a buff, not a nerf. Who knows? We'll figure it out in the numbers over the next few weeks. We'll wait and see until Blizzard comes out and puts out some numbers, because sometimes they come out and talk about how player numbers or character numbers or pick rates are up or down, but it won't matter until the live has the fixed rally bug anyways. Point is, at the end of the day, maybe this will make people think a little bit longer and go, hey, you know, maybe they're right. And, you know, not completely lose their absolute f***ing shit. Because I've been doing this for a long time. That doesn't affect me that much anymore. But the amount of people who came at me for everything, try to undermine every accomplishment I've had, whether the way I look, the way I play, said I was the most boosted streamer in Overwatch. Like, I was boosted by Guru. Newsflash, me and Guru played one time in the history of all of Overwatch 1. Like, it was everything under the sun. Like, there was some people theorizing that I somehow abused the YouTube algorithm. I pay other streamers to play with me. Like, it was wild. It was wild. It's like, we could take every shot in the world. Yeah, you must be rich. True. Yeah, I must have got really rich off that Brig event last year. God, I hate it here sometimes. Point is, at the end of the day, we'll figure it out once the Brig bug is patched, which hopefully it's patched at the mid-season event or mid-season patch. If it gets patched, then we'll all get to figure it out and to try it at real time. But point is, I just wanted to show you a little bit of data from the first weekend of Overwatch League, and I have also noticed in my own ranked game there's a lot of Brig, so I'm sure we'll figure it over the next few weeks if whether or not you know, it was actually a buff and she's now better, or it was a nerf, or it was a net neutral. I'm not saying nothing to any of that, but I just wanted to raise at least a little bit of awareness to, hey, maybe next time, don't be a dick. Smile. Really, really fast, because I'm sure some idiot's gonna say it in the comments somewhere. Oh, but Flats, what about Zenyatta? You say Zenyatta's really broken. Not Zenyatta, it's Discord Orb. Discord Orb is the highest value ability in the game for the lowest amount of effort, because it's an Overwatch 1 design ability that can be applied in Overwatch 2, where you just put it on the tank and just leave it there. The reason why you're not seeing a whole lot of Zenyatta right now is because Ana's actually pretty good. And the reason why you don't play Zenyatta is because dive. You don't see any Rhine rush right now. You don't see any Ramatcha rush. There's your Zenyatta. If you saw more Rhine and you saw more Ramatcha, you would see Zenyatta, because Zenyatta puts the Discord Orb on him, basically stops him from doing anything. But because it's rush and it's very high tempo, you need the Brig, and Brig Zen is not the comp right now that they are choosing to run. Ana is strong enough to be used. And you got to remember, Ana actually just got a significant nerf with her sleep dart to tanks, and she's still getting played. The reason why she's still getting played, even though before it was Kiri and Bap, is because of Brig. Anyways, though, I just wanted to show you guys that little tidbit of information.